Hello, beautiful souls. The graciousness of heart, of being of service and loving you, acknowledging your presence on this planet, and witnessing the majesty of your beings is the greatest gift that God has given me to come into this body and to serve you, and to honor you, to see you and hold space for you, for your brilliance and your intelligence and your continuous evolution as we evolve together in this wonderful experience called life. It's such an honor to be here and to hold this awareness and love. I would like to share some things with you today that has been on my mind in my meditation and prayer. But first, I want to start with a prayer because I feel like it's time to open up some prayer energy to create a sacred space, because I would like to share some things with you, and then we can go into some beautiful healings and conversations. Mother, Father, God, divine child, the soul, divine beings, ascended masters, orishas, spirit guides, elemental spirits, animal spirits, ancestors, and all deities of light and sentient beings of light. It's really awesome to be here on this planet with all my brothers and sisters, and I ask for every single one of my brothers and sisters and our families and our friends and the people who are continuously evolving and reaching into the highest truth of love that they represent in this embodiment as a reflection both to each other and to all those in the cosmos, that we continue to stay diligent in love with your support. We continue to move past the boundaries of fears, lack, limitation, scarcity, and doubt, shame, hurt, anger, anguish, loss, separation, confusion, and judgment for the sake of being able to see the divinity and light that is within each and every one of us, no matter where we are in our sojourn. I ask that you continue to guide us and to give us the clarity so that we can move our lives in directions that reach higher levels of joy, happiness, freedom, bliss, and elation. It is such an honor to be able to hold the sacred truths and energies and be able to share them with one another. Each one of us holds so much wisdom, knowledge, and power and information and healing transformational energies that are available through each and every single soul that is aware and becoming aware of who they truly are. I am so happy that you're all with us on this journey, that you've never abandoned us and you're always there when we need you, to call out to you, to see and to clarify if things are true or not true, and to continue to receive the love of our Mother and Father and Child God, as we continue to hold the sacredness and the teachings that our beloved Jesus Christ held in the understanding of love for the sake of love. Love because that is what we are and who we are. We are love ambassadors. We are leaders of legacy. We are dynamic beings of infinite potential, magnifying truth, love, and bounty of spirit all through the cosmos, and continuing to rise and to be okay with the fact that sometimes we make mistakes, sometimes we don't have it all figured out, sometimes we don't know, and it's okay. It's a part of the evolution. Thank you for constantly reminding us of that beautiful truth. So I say, continue to bless us. Continue to pour blessings into our lives that we have created, that perhaps we haven't been open to. Show us how to open up more to those blessings. Continue to heal us. Continue to educate and remind us of the beautiful energies in which we represent, where we come from, and who we truly are. Continue to support us on this journey and this path. And I say, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for everything you do for all of us, all the time. Even when we forget that you're doing it. Love you. So be it. Amala Ashe. Amin. Amen. Namaste. Mashallah. Aho Ataku Ase. Mahalo. So what I wanted to talk about today is being aware of why it's so important for us to acknowledge what judgment is and how judgment limits our evolution and our ability to interact with our soul. You see, judgment is a mask. It's a mask that we use so that we don't have to feel fear or worry or doubt or anything that we have to take ownership of and bring to our soul to bring healing for, you see. And so instead of us connecting with our soul and creating that beautiful connection of healing, right, which allows then our soul then to bring its light forth into our world, to bring more heaven and earth on planet Earth, when we judge, we put a mask on, and it's a form of neglecting the soul, neglecting the responsibility of stepping up to the fear or the shame or the worry or the guilt or any of these things that we are masking through judgment. And then one of the things that the underworld or the beings in the lower dimensions who are continuously going through their own self flagellation continuously, and what they're doing is they are hoping that your judgment turns into you using your powers, using your powers to project your power into an energy source that they can use to create more chaos and more discordant energy on our planet. So, for instance, some people will judge what's happening in the world. And I've heard people even say, oh, those people deserve to suffer, or those people, this isn't fair. They should experience what that's like. That's you using your powers to invoke suffering. And then it's not just you who's doing it. It's any time you use any energy. Think of yourself like a wizard, right? And all what darkness wants is to agitate you to the point where you use your powers in a way that goes against love. And every time you do that, you then call in more darkness into your life. And that's why it's important for us to educate each other about things like, things that are happening in the world, but from a place of like, we want people to grow and evolve and do better and become better, right? Through knowledge and wisdom, through kindness, love, generosity, through understanding. Right? It's very important that we understand this energy. Now, what we also want to understand when it comes to energy, and this is something really important because I was meditating yesterday as we did the live, and we had the lovely lady who came on, and she had, she was talking about her cancer, right? And I'm going to be supporting her outside of this platform on Instagram here, but what we have to understand is that when you are a type of person, okay, and this is why I say it's so important when we talk about upgrading your timeline, because a lot of people don't realize that when you haven't upgraded your timeline, or you keep traveling to the past, to all the horrible things that happened to you, you may think that that's just a thought or a feeling. And it's like, okay, I'm thinking about the past and things when I got my heart hurt, or when I went through pain, or when I was abused, or when I went through this, or when my family lost money, or whatever it may be that caused you difficulty, right? What we have to understand, and that's a very valid question. You said, what is the difference between spiritual discernment and judgment? So spiritual discernment is basically being aware of something and its frequency and deciding where you want to be with that frequency. Judgment is putting up an idea of what you think it is instead of confronting the fear that you have around it, or the insecurity that's inside of you, right? Or some kind of energy. Like people judge, let's say, the color of my skin, right? And instead of them just facing the fears that they have around Black people, or the fear they have around people of color or indigenous people, or people judge gay people and they think, oh, that person's gay, and they have all these things to say, but they don't look at why they have that judgment. The judgment is coming from a fear. It's coming from an insecurity. It's coming from some aspect that they haven't brought to their soul. So when we're in judgment, we don't allow our soul to progress its light forward, because judgment is a mask that we use to run away and deny our soul its opportunity for us to step up to the plate and honor these insecurities and these fears and these things and make peace with them, with our soul or with God, right? So when I was going back to the story about what happens to human beings is that when you are a person who's tied to a past, even though you're not aware how energy operates, and this is exactly what the matrix, the system that, we live in, wants you to not have this knowledge. So I'm going to give this knowledge to you so you can understand. When you're tied to the past, either through memory or emotion, or sometimes you're just reacting because you still haven't upgraded your timeline. See, the universe is made of quantum energies and energies together. And this has been known for so long, and so many cultures have known this information. And it's been shut down by so many people because they don't want people to have this level of awareness. Because if you knew that you were tethered or anchored or tied to the past, right? Then all that energy that caused you pain in the past is still attacking you energetically. Even though you're living your life, you're getting married, you're having kids, or you're dating, or you're, doing whatever it is that you do in this world, right? That energy is still attacking you. And I don't know if you know what happens to someone if they're being chased by a lion and they can't get the lion off of them. Eventually what happens is your body generates a high level of cortisol, a high level of adrenaline. And after that, your adrenaline then falls away because you only have so much adrenals, and then your adrenals burn out. So you get exhausted, right? And then what happens is your body develops what is called inflammation. And after a while, that inflammation keeps attacking you. You don't realize this is even happening because you don't even realize that you're tethered to the past is actually causing these energetic occurrences within your cellular system and your body. And so as we talk about your system has what are called defense mechanisms. Now, your defense mechanisms don't turn on right away. It takes a long period of time for your defense mechanism to turn on. What your defense mechanism does is it starts sending you messages. Maybe you get a back pain. Maybe you get stomach ache. Maybe you get ulcers, or maybe you feel like you're more susceptible to sickness, or you get tired, you get achy bones. Like, it could be a multiple of things that your sensory system is wanting to share with you. But then you don't listen, and you keep going on, and you don't upgrade your timeline. You don't stop going to the past and stop getting attacked by those energies, because you're living in a now moment, and the past no longer, it lives in another dimension. So every time you travel to that dimension, it takes a lot for your cells, your body, your energy system. Just because you're in a physical form, you don't realize what's happening to the energies that actually maintain this physical form. And so what happens is your body then starts to break down. But before it can break down to the point of death, it has to create something to get your attention. And this is when we start creating disease, which is dis-ease, right? And people talk about it as dis-ease, meaning you're not in ease, right? But the reason why you're not in ease is because your body is under attack from something. But the attack can also be coming from the past. It can also be coming from the fact that it's coming from the past, and you're calling in people who represent characters from your past to play roles with you until you actually realize whose face is really in front of you. So you might be married to, so let's say, for instance, your mother was a very angry person and always putting you down and, like never approving of you, whatever. And then because you don't heal that relationship with yourself, with your own soul, right? Then you call into the past, then has to then call into your manifestation, and you call someone in who looks different and who has a different face and different body, but the spirit is the same. And the spirit of your mother is also in that person that you called in. That's why you looked for the replica of that energy as close as you can get it so that you can continue this level of abuse and this level of disconnect, this level of disrespect, this level of degradation against your very soul, right? And every time you accept that, you accept the past continually to attacking you. And then one day you wake up and you wonder why you have cancer, or you wonder why you have dementia, or you wonder why you have all of these different things. Is because the body was giving you many, 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 many signals over time. And you didn't listen to those signals because you were so busy focusing on the physical world that you didn't take time to communicate with your guides, the angels, your mother, father, God, with your soul. And so therefore these things then eventually end up taking life, right? Because your body can't sustain any more of these attacks because it can't hold that much inflammation, because your body can only hold so much cortisol, so much inflammation, so much attack upon your energetic system. And what's fascinating about our world is that we make things so physical, and we haven't yet integrated the awareness of what I'm sharing with you, which is shamanism and energetic awareness, right? Which is spirit shamanism. It's not just plant medicine shamanism with this earth shamanism. I'm a spirit shaman, so you know. I'm sharing with you energetic occurrence of how things affect energy. And so what happens is when we are not aware of how energies are affecting us and not aware of how energies that we're casting out is affecting not only ourselves, but everyone around us, including our children and our animals and our plants and everything else around us. So the key to moving into the fourth dimension, right? The third dimension is the dimension where you're fully activated in your avatar, your awareness of the physical plane. The fourth dimension is the activation of the awareness of your physical and avatar, as well as the spirit gates and the spiritual energies, the codes, the frequencies, the alignments of energy that are available to you for you to move into the fifth dimension, which is your ability to ascend or go into what we call the awareness of light frequency. And what is light frequency? It means the frequency that understands the harmony and the balance of all things operating in the field of love, right? And that's going to take some time on planet Earth, because the fourth dimension is going to be a shift that it requires examples for those who are still in third dimensional thinking and third dimensional reactions and third dimensional ways of operating. Okay. And so it's going to take some time for that shift to take place, because it's going to take time for us to demonstrate what fourth dimensional consciousness looks like, right? But we're not going to be demonstrating fourth dimensional consciousness if we keep reacting to the third dimensional reactions and behaviors that third dimensional consciousness is acting out on our planet right now, right? So remember, third dimensional consciousness acts out the idea of generating fear. So let me explain to you why it does that, okay? So in ancient times, very ancient times, I'm not going to give you the exact timeline, but let's just say in ancient times, there was an awareness of hierarchy, awareness of how do I keep slaves without them knowing that they're slaves, and they continue to operate in slaves and continue to make us powerful and wealthy and stay in leadership and in power. Well, what do? You have to create an energy that makes people believe that that energy is something that they can't handle, that you can. And then you build a system around that idea or that thought or that consciousness that makes people have a sense of false security. Okay, that's what we're living in right now. We're living in a system that's been playing out this false security for us for a very long time. And that false security is the idea that if you trust your government or your system that is telling you things and showing you things in the press and doing all of these things, that it must be that they're going to handle it and fix it and put it back the way it's supposed to be for us to have some generalization of peace. Well, it doesn't quite work like that, unfortunately, because that's not the system's idea. The system's idea is to keep you in a state of fear. Fear then gets registered in your being because you don't confront the fear with your soul. You confront the fear with reaction. And that reaction then creates what is called a cause and effect. The cause and effect then creates what we call a causal effect. And that causal effect is what you're seeing playing out in the world today. It's the idea that we still allow people to kill people. We still allow people to go to war. We still allow people to do all of these things. And you do it because we're afraid that someone is going to do something to us. So the idea of imminent threat, or the idea that threat is possible, allows us to be complacent and disconnected from our awareness of how fear is being used against us. Okay? Now, this is where the system doesn't want you to, and why the system wants to make spirituality and all of these things, they call it pseudoscience and woo-woo and, oh, this isn't based in science and all of these things. And it will never be based in science, because science is also being controlled by the system of how much funding and how much they're allowed to actually look at and understand, as long as it supports what the system wants, right? But the truth of the matter is that spirituality is not woo-woo. It's not pseudoscience. It is an awareness of how things are affecting one another, and how do we create a different effect. So we don't create a different effect by reacting to what third dimensional consciousness is doing, right? If we want to reach fourth and fifth dimension, it's just not going to happen. Right. And this is why I keep calling you leader of legacy. And this is why I keep reminding you how powerful you are, because I need you to truly embody this every day. Even if someone says something to you, be like, Shaman Durek says that what you're saying to me isn't true because it's not coming from love. Shaman Durek says that this is what you're saying to me is, you're saying I'm not powerful. I am powerful because I see it now, because I'm now getting the remembering that's coming. I'm not a guru by any means. I am not a master by any means. I'm also trip and fall. I make sometimes bad choices, and then I share those choices with you that I make. I share my trips and falls, and I share what I think is necessary for you to understand that I am not a guru, I am not a master, I am not some holier than thou person who stands above you. I am here to share with you as your brother of light who loves you, who cares for you, who knew what it felt like to feel lonely and in a world that was so confusing when I was a kid. And I made a promise to myself that I will always be there for community and for people. So why am I sharing this with you? Because I want you to understand the loop. So this is how the loop works. And it's actually a really important thing, and what I'm going to share with you as well on top of that. So when you are in an idea of fear that is not being brought to God, or being brought to your soul, or being brought to the spirit guides or the angels and all the beings that have come here to support you, and you keep reacting based off of it, you keep making narratives, and you keep building your identity more and more into these places, right? It's one that people always ask me, why is it difficult for men to shift into the awareness of their feminine energy? It's because they built their identity out of their insecurity into an identity of what it means to protect and to keep everyone safe and themselves safe. So to change, they would have to destroy that identity and rebuild a new one. And that's going to take some time for men to get, because they don't quite understand what's happening to them, because they are stuck in an identity. But that's a whole nother topic, but I'm going to utilize it for this purpose. When you are in a state of fear, or you're in a state of worry, or you're in a state of doubt, you go into the mask. Most people go into their mask, which is judgment. And then they don't bring it to their soul. They don't bring it to God, right? So then darkness sees that in the underworld. And then darkness comes and agitates it. Darkness will come and continue to dig into that space that you haven't given to God, haven't given to your soul, haven't shared it with your spirit guides, haven't given it to the beings of light, right? And so then what darkness will do is darkness will polarize it, because darkness needs to polarize it to use you as a weapon against your brothers and sisters. And you don't even know that you're being used as a weapon, because your energy is just simply going like, making comments and making ideas about things or having an opinion, but those opinions are actually spells. They're real active sorcery in action. And most people don't realize how powerful they are when they think or when they speak, when they feel. It's very powerful. So what happens is darkness uses that, and then darkness loops into you. And this is why when people say, I can't get rid of this spirit, or I have this entity that keeps attacking me and so forth. It's not a one-way street. It's a two-way agreement. And the two-way agreement is, you are stopping me from having to take responsibility for some fear, some hurt, some shame, some guilt, some hurtful things that happened to me. And what you're going to do is you're going to distract me by being the thing that causes difficulty in my life. And I'm going to be so focused on that difficulty in the physical world that I'm not even going to realize how to clear it by going straight to my soul in the spiritual world. So what darkness does is it makes itself worthy to you. That means that if I needed a job to protect you, right, all I would have to do is give you continuous fear over and over and over and over and over. So that way you would keep me with you. And that's how darkness stays in your life. Brother, isn't darkness God? Well, let's understand that for a second. Darkness has an aspect of God. But God itself is in its most omnipresent, omnipotent, purest form of love. Darkness is like taking a glass of water, which would be God, and putting ink in that water. It's still God, but the water has now been polluted. And the best way to understand that is there's an amazing show on Netflix right now, and it's called, and it's funny, but it's really good. My daughter got me into it. It's called K-pop Demon Hunter. Okay. K-pop Demon Hunter. I know you're like, what? Shaman Durek? K-pop Demon Hunter. It's a kind of a animation. Okay. And the reason why I want you to see this so you can have a better understanding is so you can understand how darkness operates and how it, and why beings who suffer so much pain in life, who die, and why they don't go to the light and why do they go to the darkness, and how they get trapped in the darkness is because there's an energy in the darkness that keeps reminding you of what bad things you did when you had a human form. And that's how darkness stays darkness. And so what darkness does is its job is to be able to feed off of you and in order to gain light, but it can't gain the light at its full brilliance. So what it does is it gains the light by you distorting it with your malfunction in thinking, which I talked about when I died and I went to the other side. Spirit told me the reason why we suffer is because we have malfunction in thinking, right? So we think with malfunction in thinking. And so darkness uses that malfunction in thinking to feed off of you. Brother, how do we release the past for good? Well, first thing we do is we start to integrate that the past does not dictate what we're creating. And the past does not represent anything other than for you to go back there to look at what was done to you and do the opposite to yourself. The reason why people suffer the past is because the behaviors of the things that people did to them in the past, they're still doing it to themselves. Yeah. And if they're not doing it to themselves, they call in people in this now moment to do it to them. And then they stay there, thinking they can fix that person, which then means they could have fixed their father or their mother or their person who caused them the most pain. No, that is a loop. And that's what darkness is hoping that you get into. So it has a job to continue to keep you stuck in that space so that you can keep feeling like you're never good enough and you're never going to amount to anything and you're never going to be worthy and people are never going to love you and accept you. But that's the game, you see. And that's how the system likes to utilize that energy. So brother can dance, heal frequency, and elevate us. Dance can, if you dance for the right reasons. Again, dance was used in tribal culture to either bring the rain, to heal people, to cast away spirits, to help women get pregnant. Dance is an energizer of using your power through movement, which is a form of communication to the spirit world. So if you're going to dance, then you have to choose the purpose in which you're dancing for. Like when I go to clubs and I listen to house music and so forth, I dance for the tribe. I dance for healing the suffering in different countries. I dance to bring in more prosperity and wealth to my family, to my friends, and to people. I don't just dance to dance because that's a waste of my energy. I dance and I use the energy. Everything is energy. Words are energy. Thoughts are energy. Feelings are energy. Movement is energy. Right? And so we want to be aware of where are we sending that energy and for what purpose, right? That's where we get into emotional intelligence, because emotional intelligence teaches us, what energy am I choosing to use right now in this situation? Why would you use anger in a situation where you really want just love, right? But you maybe use anger in a situation where someone's trying to hurt you and you need to get away and you got to get strong and fight and whatever, right? So it's about being able to know when to use the energy and when to use it in its most rightful place. So again, as we are understanding this awareness, the system that we live in doesn't want you to know this. It wants you to continue to support whatever it wants you to support by invoking so much high level fear in your presence through visuals and through hearing and through experiencing a feeling that you have to go along with whatever they say, because that way you're going to be safe. And let me tell you something, the new paradigm that's coming on earth, the one that Nostradamus talks about, the golden age, or shamans talk about as the soul remembering, and all the druids talk about, and all the ancient mystics and all of them talk about. It's not going to be what you think it is. It's going to be something so completely different than you could ever imagine, because it's when people actually remember the power they have to shift the system from the inside out, not from the outside, but from the inside. And that's when people are going to start returning to their soul and utilizing the light of their soul to cast away the darkness that has enveloped in people's minds, hijacked people's minds to make them do the things that they're doing. Like, you must understand that any world leader who has any thought of hurting another human being is completely a puppet of the darkness. I wouldn't think in my mind never to want to hurt a human being. And the idea of hurting a human being comes from the hijack of the mind, that you don't consider life. And most people don't consider life, not just because they don't consider life, but because they don't consider the feminine wisdom. And you cannot heal the system that we have if you cannot bring the feminine wisdom to the forefront of conversations, awarenesses, and understandings, because the feminine wisdom is the unknown. It is the divine mother who sits in the unknown, who sees, just like in the story, the movie The Matrix with Keanu Reeves, it's the oracle who sees and knows all things. And the divine feminine also knows what should be built and what shouldn't be built, because the structures have to be supportive to all, not just the one. Right? And so when we start incorporating more community and the awareness of community in everything that we do, and we start to lift community, not as I'm the leader and you're the follower, which I see so much on Instagram and TikTok, as everyone wants to be influencing people, but for the wrong reasons. It's about being able to lift your community to where you are, to help people to gain the levels of information so that they too can make their lives blossom in the most beautiful ways. Because we're not going to move the system with one leader and everyone's following behind, because the system has followed that old mythology of doing things. And all they have to do is take out that one leader and the whole crowd will disperse. But they cannot take out millions of awakened beings all at once. And so that's what I stand for. That's why I'm here. That's why I come into these lives, because that's why I do the webinars, and that's why I have the Lit Vibe app and all the things that you see me doing, the books, the cards, the lectures, the everything it's for our community to remember who we are. So that is important, because the beings, if you watch K-pop Demon Hunter, you will understand that the beings of darkness that most people are so scared of, because we've been told by religious people, they're demons. Okay, yes, they're demons in the sense that you want to look at it that way. But they were once human beings who lived in heaven as well too, and came to earth and lost their way and got trapped in darkness because of the horrible things that happened to them on earth, the people that they came in contact with, who didn't show them love, who didn't give them kindness, who used them, hurt them, and did all these horrible things. And when they died, they couldn't get to the light because they could not forgive their lives or forgive themselves, and they went into darkness. And what does darkness do? Darkness keeps you in the bucket like the crab. It pulls you in by making you remember how horrible of a soul you are, and that God will never ever accept you. And so what do? They go and look for other beings to bring into that space. But we don't have to be afraid of the darkness. We don't have to be afraid of the things that go bump in the night, or the things that come into our room and talk to us or try to hold us down in our beds and so forth. We have the most greatest power there is, and that's love. And with that love, spirits of the lower dimensions will move away from you so quickly. But if you have a spirit that doesn't move away from you, that's because you made a two-part contract with that spirit to hold you from taking responsibility from some kind of emotion of sadness, which is based in fear or doubt or worry or shame, or something that you haven't delivered to God or spirit or your guides or your divine beings that love you. And so therefore you are neglecting your soul. And that's exactly what those beings want, because that's what they're doing. So you're matching their frequency, and that's why it's easy for them to come into your life. But the less you neglect your soul, the more challenging it will be for those beings to talk to you and get into your life. God says, love your enemy. God is love. That's correct. That is right. So that being said, I wanted to share that with you because that's been on my prayer and meditation today. And I wanted to share that with you. And if any of you have any questions that you would like me to ask, to answer, not to ask, to answer. Oh my God, this frees me so much. Right now, I feel forgiveness towards demons and love towards them. Exactly. And really, like I said, you have to go watch the Netflix thing, K-pop Demon Hunter, because they are in 100% sync with the truth on that matter. Shaman, you answered my question. I messaged you about love, love you. I love you too, darling. So I'll just give you a couple minutes if you have any questions, and then we'll go into some fun stuff. Hey, Durek, I did a lot of talking to my guides and council members, but since a few months it seems to shift. I don't have the same connection. Maybe it's settles deeper into my body. I'm not used to it. Okay, so if you are having difficulty talking to your council members, let's find out why. Council members of our beloved brother, why is he having difficulty communicating with you? They said because they're sharing deeper and more profound forms of information, and you are judging it and limiting them from sharing it with you because it's too much. Your mind is wanting to control it instead of like really start. See, let me explain something to you. So when I was a kid and I wanted to know about, let's say, my past life, okay? I remember Spirit saying to me, you're not ready to know about your past life. And I said, why? I said, because you won't be happy with what you see. You won't accept what we show you, so you'll block it. You won't want to see it. So when you're more mature, we'll show you your past life. So As I got mature in a situation, they showed me, who I was in my past life. And boy, they were right. And it was intense. And I cried for like 2 weeks after seeing it. Couldn't believe that I was that kind of person with who I am now, right? And so I asked the spirits, so do you share everything with us? They said, we can only share what you're comfortable to accept. We cannot force you into new information or wisdoms until you let go of your judgments and your fears of hearing something that makes you uncomfortable. So I started practicing the art of getting uncomfortable with my guides, getting uncomfortable with things they might say to me. So if they say to me like, hey, by the way, you're heading to this restaurant right now and it's going to blow up in a bomb. You might not want to go there. It wouldn't be in your best interest unless you plan on leaving the earth. So that doesn't sound really nice to tell my friends, hey, by the way, you guys, the restaurant that we eat at all the time in Israel, it's going to blow up today. So let's go somewhere else, right? But I did because I trust, because I asked them to tell me the things that are uncomfortable. And then that's what they did. And because of that, I didn't get blown up in that bomb in Allenby. So I talk about it in my book. And there's many cases of that, for instance, many cases. So the thing is, the more you start to be uncomfortable with hearing the uncomfortable, most people don't want to hear the uncomfortable because they have a perfectionist status. So let me explain to you what that means. A perfectionist status means, if I miss some of your messages, it's because I had to scroll up. A perfectionist status means that you want to be perfect and you want to be spiritually perfect. And your spiritual perfection limits you from hearing things that will help you to grow in places that are uncomfortable for you to look at. And so that's where we get into humbleness and humility. It doesn't mean you let people like walk all over you. But I mean, honestly, I rather the spirits tell me something that makes me uncomfortable, that I can grow and evolve through, than have them not tell me and I block it, because it's never on their end of blocking. It's always on our end, because I'm not comfortable hearing the level of truth that they're now dropping on me, right? And so I had to learn how to be comfortable listening to things and asking questions like, is this coming from the highest source of love? Yes. Okay, great. Keep going, right? But if I hear, does this come from the highest source of love? And I hear no, then I know it's darkness interfering, right? And so it's always good to kind of gauge into that space. But if we don't hear something, it's not them, it's us. And we have to learn how to mature ourselves for the information that they're sharing. And one time I was walking down the street. I was in Oakland in California, walking down the street. And this voice came into me and said, there's a woman on the bench over there. Her son is in the hospital. Tell her that God has heard her prayers and that everything is going to be okay. Now, can you imagine what I was thinking when I got that message? This one voice came in and was like, are you crazy? Are you crazy? You think I'm going to go over there and talk to this woman who doesn't even know me? She's going to think I'm absolutely bonkers, right? And the voice said, you could choose to heed this because you were open to receiving the message. So you can obviously deliver it. And if you don't want to deliver it, that's your free will. It's your choice. So sure enough, I went over and sat on the bench and I turned to the woman and I said, I see that you're going through a very difficult time. And she's like, yes. I said, I have a message from God. She said, yes. I said, your son's going to be okay. The angel sent me over here to sit next to you and tell you. She's like, oh my God, I'm getting chills right now because it was such an intense moment for me to have the courage to do it. But she started crying and she was like, I just prayed to God over my son's bed that he's going to make it through this. And then you're telling this to me. And I said, yes, yes. And I said, here, take my number. Give me a call. Let me know what happens. And she called me and said her son pulled through. I had another situation with a friend of mine whose husband was in a fire and he was burned severely bad and he was in a coma. And my friend called me on the phone and she said, Shaman Durek, can you ask the spirits? And I asked the spirits and I said, Spirit says we need to clear the energy And we need to tell his family to stop crying over him because they're invoking energy of loss and energy of separation. They're creating the idea already in their mind that their father is gone. They have to go in there and be like, I'm so happy that you're pulling through this. You're so powerful. You're so this and that, And I said, he's going to come out of this. And I'm really looking forward to getting a letter from the family. And so she told the family everything I said and everything. And they did exactly that. And the father pulled out of it. And he's to this day living with his kids, survived his burns, and is with his children. Even sent me a letter saying thank you. So do I believe in God? Yes. Do I have faith? Absolutely. Do I believe that you can also do these things? Absolutely. And it comes with maturity. The maturity is the ability to be open to what Spirit is going to share with you. I had a person once on my table, and they came in, a very dear friend, and he was on the table, and I touched his stomach, and I said, "Oh," and he said, "What?" I said, "You need to go to the hospital right now." And he goes, "Why?" I said, "You need to go right now." And he goes, "What is it, Durek?" I said, "Do you really want to know? Are you mature enough to hear what I'm going to say to you?" He said, "Yes." I said, "I see cancer in your stomach and it's not good. You need to go now." So I ended the session. He went to the hospital. He found he was stage 4 cancer, stomach cancer. And these things happen. But you see, when you are in service to humanity, you have to put aside your need to be liked. You have to put aside your need to be loved. You have to put aside your need to be seen as not crazy, right? Because then Spirit can utilize you more. Spirit can't utilize you if you're running around trying to people please people and trying to meet everyone to make them like you and love you. It's impossible, because Spirit won't be able to give you the messages that you need to deliver, or the messages that need to come through, or the healing energies, or whatever it may be that Spirit needs to bring to you, because you're not mature enough yet to handle that level of information, right? And that's one of the things I always look for when it comes to people who want to do, readings on me and stuff. I look at them and I see if they're mature enough to get the knowledge that Spirit wants to bring through, or are they just going to tell me things to make me like them so that they feel like they can keep making money and surviving? Because making money and surviving, that just comes about you doing the things that you love. But truly being of service comes from you letting go of your need to be liked, right? And Spirit will test you on it. Spirit will test you. Spirit might bring a family member around you, someone who's very close to you, to make fun of you and see how you respond. You might say something to someone and someone might look at you sideways. Spirit does that to see how you respond. Spirit wants to see, have you gotten to the maturity level that requires you to receive more information, more downloads, and more awareness of what they want to bring through? So this is the reason why it's sometimes difficult for people to hear their guides or connect, because they're still playing this game called, did I make that up? Oh, is that me saying that? Well, sort of and sort of not. Spirit will use your voice in the beginning because that's the one you trust the most. As you mature and you begin to grow into being comfortable hearing a voice of something talking to you that doesn't sound like you, then you will hear that. But in the beginning, it will sound like your voice speaking to you. But again, that's because Spirit is wanting to find the most easiest way for you to mature yourself into these energies. Okay. And so when you see me do webinars, I'm not doing webinars that are very superficial. I'm doing groundbreaking, next level, soul deep webinars that elevate you in a short amount of time with a very powerful information like I'm sharing with you now. You're not going to see me doing webinars on chakras and all of this stuff unless you want to know what chakras really are, not just the Muladhara, Sadhvasana, Vishuddha and blah, 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 right? So for me, I like to share information that helps you to mature yourself so that you can get more mature in your awakening so that you can understand more from Spirit. A lot of times people will say to me, Shaman Durek, I just don't understand. Like, I do all of these things and I don't understand why I don't hear Spirit. One person even said to me recently, oh, I'm taking this course in this, shamanic school, and they're telling me to feel a rock and see what it says to me, and I don't hear anything. And that's because you haven't been matured to listen to the elemental kingdom. Some people don't want to hear what the elements have to say, because not all elements are in how do I say, sometimes they have a lot of things to say that we've done to them on the planet, right? In our ability to align with their energies. Like I remember one time I contacted a fairy, and the fairy wasn't just like all like Tinkerbell and all sweet and loving and everything. She was just like, do you really care about us? Or are you just wanting to connect with us just to see that you can? That was really intense for me to hear from this fairy. She was like laying it out for me. She's like, because human beings used to say that they care about us, but then they come into our realm and they try to dominate us. And they don't care about the trees. They don't leave offerings. They don't connect with our kingdom anymore like they used to. So are you just connecting with me because you want to know that you can communicate with fairies? Are you connecting with me because you really want to build a relationship with me, Shaman Durek? And I'm gonna start crying because that was a really tough thing for me when I was a kid. Because I didn't realize how much there's so many spirits on the planet that feel that we don't care about them because we do it for more entertainment and for like, oh, I'm powerful, versus like really trying to create a relationship with them. So when I train people in shamanism, I don't train you so you can be powerful. I train you so you can be kind and aware of these beautiful realms that we live in. And we just walk by it every day. We don't care about it. People just don't care about the trees. They don't talk and get the wisdom from the trees. They don't give offerings anymore, And the level of awareness of these other realms and these other beings is not just for your needs. It's also to build a relationship. There's times where fairies will ask me to do things for them, and certain beings will ask me for my support because we have a friendship, we have a relationship. When I was a kid, I used to spend time with these spirits and learn how they really feel, but I had to get mature enough. I just calm my emotions down. So I'm sharing with you real things that maybe you didn't know about me, to get real with them, to understand what we have done, to apologize for humanity, to be able to acknowledge what it means to build a relationship with an elf or a fairy or a gnome, or any of these beings. Sometimes people just think that they're just supposed to be serving them, and it's not a relationship. It's not a family. That's why I say it's a community. And it's not just a community of humans. It's a community of all sentient beings. And if we can't even love our own brothers and sisters just because they choose a different sexuality, or because they choose to fall in love with someone of the same sex because they're demonstrating on earth that love transcends the avatar, how are we going to love a spirit or a being from another galaxy that wants to integrate with us, wants to help us, wants to show us new ways that we can grow and prosper as a civilization of human beings? But they can't come here when we act against our own people, when we judge our own fellow brothers and sisters, when we can't find deep compassion within ourselves to understand the depth of what it means to create community. You see? There. So I'm done talking, my darlings. Now I'm just going to support people in their healings. Because I don't want to overload you. And I did share quite a bit, but it's because my heart is so vast and so big for you, so big for all of us. But the good thing about that story is that I did show the fairy that I was serious and that I cared, and we have a lovely relationship. But again, same thing, like, when I was living in a lot of Muslim cultures, they were always saying, oh, the jinn, they're so bad, they're so this, they're so that, and then I went and met the jinn, And they shared with me all of the things that people have done to them and how they misuse them and use their abilities to gain power and this and that and the other. And so that's the reason why they have an issue and a fear of the jinn, because the jinn are not happy with the way they're being treated. But when I talk to the jinn, we have a beautiful relationship because I respect them and I understand them, and the salamander spirit and the sliffs and the undying spirits. There's a level of respect, you know. I don't just go to a river. I ask the river permission. Do you want to be disturbed? You know. So if you don't know what the jinn spirit is, you just have to look it up. I can't go into a whole thing about that right now. But what we have to understand is that people have disrespected spirits so much that they don't even realize to be open to hear, because their egos and their need to be perfect and their need to be, I'm a good person, is sitting at the forefront of their being able to receive information. Of course, the dragons, that's why I put dragon things up, you know? You see all the things that I'm putting up with the AI videos with my brother, is so that you can get all these beautiful messages in a really beautiful, fun way. And I really hope that you enjoy that, because it means a lot to me to share in those ways. I'm going to use technology for the greater good. So it's going to be there anyway. It's going to exist no matter if we complain about it or not. So it's best to be utilizing it for the greater good. Okay, so that's what I'm saying, my darling. So just be aware of that. That was a question. That was a very long question to my brother, but I went into a tangent, and I do that sometimes because I get so passionate. But I will tell you this, it's all for the good and the bounty of our spirits. I share that completely with you. Okay. So let's see who we can bring on live. We're gonna go with, I think it said Jennifer or something.
Hello.
Hello, darling. It's a bit dark where you are.
Just a moment. There.
That's much better. Now I can see your beautiful, beautiful energy and beautiful face.
Thank
How
you.
support you, my dear?
I've been on my healing journey for quite a few years, and I understand the difference of good and, or not even good and bad, but understanding the energies and being able to read them.
Can we
And
change your idea for a second? I want to interlude into your idea. You said, been on my healing journey for what?
a, a while,
How about
years.
since you were born?
Okay, yeah, since I was born.
Because your presence on earth is healing.
Yeah,
Yes,
my
okay.
presence on earth is healing.
That's right. Okay.
So I'm just trying to understand, like, navigating when you have like a negative thought. Like I've always questioned it and said, this isn't me, I
Pull
don't
up the
resonate with
pull up
this.
thought. Tell me a negative thought that you have. Pull it up. Let's confront it now. One that you have the courage to share.
um I'm trying to find I'm feeling like heaviness right now.
Okay, that's interesting. That is interesting right there. So let's go into that heaviness. May I have permission to access your heaviness?
Yeah.
Okay, give me one moment. Just tell me when you feel that getting stronger.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me when it gets even stronger than that.
Yes.
Good. Give me a second. And tell me when you begin to feel it shifting and alchemizing into a different sensation.
Yes,
And what does it feel like now?
it's feeling lighter.
Right. And now let's go into the next segment of that energy, which is the heaviness has been brought on by the part of you that is in judgment that you have done so much spiritually. Why are you even having to deal with such energies? Now, do you know where I got that information from?
God.
Your God, your spirit guides, your beings that surround you, that love you. Yes, correct. And that energy right now is bringing up emotions for you, right? And so here's the emotion that it's bringing up. It's bringing the energy from your soul. Your soul's asking you to engage it by asking, why do you have to make things so matter of a fact hard?
I don't.
Like the spiritual experience is supposed to be loving and nurturing and playful. Oh, now you're going to bring me to tears because I see so much of the spiritual community doing this to themselves, and it is completely a malfunction in thinking. And it's only because we're utilizing the same teachings we had when we were going to school and kindergarten and junior high and high school, and the way that we were taught in this very repetition, got to get to the good grades to graduate and so forth. We're treating the spirit world the exact same way, and it doesn't operate that way.
Mhm.
It operates with playfulness, excitement for the discoveries that you make. Even if you find out things that you're doing that are not the right things, that should also be like, oh, wow, wow, I didn't even realize I was being so judgmental, right?
Yeah.
Right. So then what happens is we look at the currents inside of you. So right now you're going to be going through a soul cry. The reason why you're going through a soul cry is because you're integrating back with your soul. So it's okay. Just tell me when you feel that soul cry getting stronger. And baby, I love you. And, uh, and trust me, God loves you. You're great. You're doing great. You just ease up a little bit on yourself.
I feel like I always do the best for my kids, but I always feel like there's things that I'm not doing right as a parent. And I really want my kids to grow up and be the best versions of themselves. And it sometimes bothers me because I feel like I'm either not doing enough or I'm not supporting them the way they need.
Right. And okay, have you asked them?
I have sometimes, yes.
Not sometimes. It's important to see our kids as masters too. Have you asked them, do you feel like that I could, there are ways that I in our relationship with one another?
I have asked them that, and they've always said that they love me and that I'm a good mom. Like last night I was crying and my baby, he's almost 4, just turned around and said, "You're a great mom." And it really upset me because it was just like reassuring that I'm not doing as bad as I thought.
Or,
And
or is it the fact that they're telling you you're being a good mom and you're not telling yourself that?
yeah,
And how are you associating that? Let's find out from the spirits. I'd like to talk to her team and her association of how she defines a good mom. Oh, I see. I see. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Okay. So basically, you're in what is called a loop. And the loop that you're in is I'm going to do something wrong and it's going to affect them and they're going to grow up to hate me. Okay. And this weird loop that darkness has put you in and that you've agreed to join in with this little loopity loopity loo is because you have not said the truth to your soul. You are still operating on the outside instead of talking to your soul. and asking telling your soul, remember, your soul reflects the physical world. If you do not give to your soul, then you will feel depleted in the physical world. So what's happening, my dear, is that the truth, which is that you're an amazing mom, right? Isn't a mother is not about perfection. A mother is about doing the best that she can with what she's aware of. And the fact that you continue to be more aware shows your willingness to continue to evolve, right? Okay. And the energy of this, really what it comes down to, and it has nothing to do with you whatsoever. It has to do with your childhood.
Oh, yeah.
And it has to do, I don't want to be like that. So we're letting all that go. Tell me when you feel yourself going through the deepest soul cry, releasing all that self, all of that thing that you did. So here's the interesting thing, right? Is that what you have chosen to do is that you are healing generational wounds of non-acceptance. You only experienced that as a child because that was the same thing that they were doing to themselves. And because they were believing so much in it, they became so angry and hurt by it that they started acting it out on you. And here's an interesting thing. If you spend more time in telling yourself what an amazing mother you are and what a beautiful gift you are to your children, remember, children don't learn by what you say to them. You can tell your kid, I love you, I love you, I love you. That's not how they experience love. They experience love through their feminine, which means they experience it through feelings. They feel into how you feel about yourself, and then they start emulating how they should feel about themselves, just like you did in your childhood, right? So, do you give me permission to shift that energy for you?
Yes.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm now going to access your energetic field that connects both with your mind and your emotions. And just tell me when you feel your body purging that energy out of your mouth and throat through either the deepest breath you've ever taken continuously, the deepest yawn you've taken continuously, the deepest caw or deepest swallow. And just tell me when you feel really, really intense as your body is purging darkness out. And this is the energy that you've taken in from childhood that you've been demonstrating to yourself. And so clearing that demonstration. And as you're releasing these poisons out of your system that we are now pulling out, I'm communicating directly to your soul. Soul, are you aware she is purging these energies that she has been directing towards you and clearing them and sending them into the light? Yes, your soul is very happy that this is happening. Good. And just tell me when that gets even stronger and your body starts to cough out even more. Good. And let's just open that up a little bit more. Good. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and access your stomach, your intestines, and your lower parts of your body where you've been storing a lot of these under your rib cage. That's why you've been having a lot of that discomfort in those areas. Pull out some of that stuff. You're going to have to spit some of this stuff out. So make sure you have something to spit in. Because right now, what we're doing is we're going into a shamanic purge. I'm going to go ahead and purge your now and calling in the divine, all of the different tribes.
Oh man.
Doesn't that feel so good?
Yeah.
Good. Now let's open up some energies. I'm going to call forth the elemental of electricity to shock her body at 10,000 with uncontrollable laughter and laugh her into higher states of consciousness. Shock her body with electricity at 20 and bring her into uncontrollable laughter and laugh her at any time she actually doubted that she was a good mother. Shock her body at 30,000, controllable laughter, and laugh her into higher states of consciousness.
Whew. Wow. Whew.
Do you see now what Spirit has revealed to you in the light of truth?
Absolutely. Wow.
You're very powerful, my dear.
I know.
Your demonstration of being a mother who loves her children is a demonstration for others that it's possible. You are shifting the energy occurrence on the planet just by your beingness and your awareness of this truth. And it is so important more than ever that we lift the feminine to a high, high level for our ascension and for our full awareness of the fourth dimensional planes.
Absolutely.
Well done, my dear.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure to serve you.
Thank you. Take care.
And let us just take a moment to take a deep breath and exhale with a For there's nothing greater than watching transformation, because not only is the transformation affecting the individual, but it also affects the viewer, the one who is observing. So I'm very excited for that. Okay, let's see who else we want for our second love demonstration of support and healing. Let's see. Looking at the request list here as we go through, we have Grazie, prego. There was someone who was chosen, a beloved one, and I'm waiting to see if they receive the information. If not, we will choose not inside those who have asked to be chosen, but we will then choose someone who is asking to be chosen if she does not accept this invitation. It seems that the invitation has not been accepted. So now let's go to the next person who says, and we have DM Henry's unable to join. So we have chosen someone else. Hello, my dear.
Hi. Hello. Oh my God, it's so lovely to see you. Thank you.
It's a
Thank you for coming back.
thank you, darling. The spirits have chosen you. How can I best support you?
Um, um, Firstly, thank you for choosing me to come on this live with you. I've been waiting for this opportunity since yesterday's live. I was requesting to come online. Um, I just wanted to know that, when we started the live today, you mentioned about a lot of body inflammation and body pains and throat pains and backaches. That is something I have been experiencing um along with a lot of blockages when it comes to money and finances. And I needed your help with it.
Let me ask you a question. When you think of money and finance, what does it mean to you in this world?
It's Money for me is something that will help me, get freedom to achieve the life I want to live.
Freedom.
Yeah.
This life, money means freedom to you. I see. Okay. Let me ask your soul a question. I'd like to talk to her soul. Soul, do you feel that she creates freedom for you? No. Why doesn't she create freedom for you? It says because you're always doing what everyone wants you to do and never what you want to do. Why does she do that? Your soul says because you're afraid of disappointing people around you. So you do the things that they want you to do, but you don't ask your soul if it wants to do those things. So your soul doesn't feel free. Your soul feels like a slave.
Yep.
Okay. And when her soul feel when you feel like a slave, are you able to generate money in her life that would give her freedom? Not possible, the soul says, because the freedom cannot be had in the physical world if it's not had in the spiritual. So if you cannot create spiritual freedom for yourself internally, then your soul cannot project it out into this world for you to experience.
So what do I need to do? I mean,
Well,
I know.
I understand is why do you feel to do things that you don't want to do, but you choose to do them anyway because you're afraid of disappointing people?
Yes. Yes, that's been a pattern that it's been very difficult for me to break.
It's not difficult for you to break. It is only difficult for you to break because you're afraid of the consequences of breaking it. Let's find out what consequences you actually believe will happen. I'd like to speak to her guides that have been with her since the day she was born. What consequences does she feel will happen if she breaks this? I see. So you believe you'll be abandoned.
Yeah.
I see. Um, Guides, I have a question. If she believes that she would be abandoned, does that mean she believes that because she's been abandoning her soul? I see. They said you abandon yourself every time you do things that you don't really want to do, and you do it for others because of your fear of abandonment. You stay in the act of abandoning yourself. Therefore, you limit yourself from seeing the potential that is possible for you. That is the reason why things cannot move forward the way you would like them to, because you're not present with yourself. That means anytime any person comes into your life at any moment, all they would have to do is manipulate you, give you a false sense of security, make you believe that you're something, and then the next day tear you down, and it will destroy the very ground that you walk on. You will self-destruct yourself for the sake of someone else's need to self-destruct you. This is why spirit is not moving energy, because it can't move energy if you're not creating that within. So what I want you to do is I want you to say this out loud. I want you to say um, body,
Body,
Show me what I would feel like
Show me what I would feel like
if I stop abandoning myself.
if I stop abandoning myself.
What happened? Do you notice
Nothing.
I feel anything?
No.
You know why you didn't feel anything?
Why?
Because your mind was trying to control it. Soon as you asked your body to do it, you started looking for how it was going to feel. You were trying to control the feeling.
Yes.
So let's do it again. And this time, let's not use the masculine mind. Let's just be an observation. Okay? The same way you feel when you look at the ocean and you don't need to understand the ocean, you just look at it.
Yes.
Okay? So say body,
Body.
show me how I would feel if I stopped trying to control energy.
Show me how I would feel if I stop trying to control energy.
And just tell me what sensation you're feeling in your body right now.
I'm feeling really warm.
Uh-huh. So you did feel it.
Yeah, yeah. I felt like a very warm hug.
Yeah, like a warm hug. I love that. Okay, now I want you to say, body,
Body.
show me how it would feel if I step into that energy even more.
Show me how I'd feel if I step into that energy even more. I'm feeling really warm and comfortable. Wow, this is so beautiful.
I love the spirit world. Okay, now say, body,
Body.
show me how I would feel
Show me how I would feel
if I surrender to that frequency.
if I surrender to that frequency. I'm feeling so much lighter and so much relaxed. It's beautiful. It's it's really nice.
Now say, body,
Body.
show me what my soul feels like when it's loving me.
Show me what my soul feels like when it's loving me. It's as if it's as if my mom's putting me to sleep. You know, it's that beautiful caressing feeling. I haven't felt this for ages.
Body, show me what that feels like expanded through my consciousness.
Body, show me what it feels like expanded through my consciousness. I just feel like I've got so many loving, supporting ancestors near me that are just caressing me. It's
Body,
beautiful.
what it feels like to be in union with my ancestors.
Body, show me what it feels like to be in union with my ancestors. I feel like a current going from my top to down my spine. Yeah.
We call this in shamanism the ancestral river. It's when the ancestors pass all of their gifts and all of their stuff over to you when you connect in union with them.
It's beautiful.
Now say, body, show me what it feels like to have an upgraded heart.
Body, show me what it feels like to have an upgraded heart. I can just feel my heart expanding. Like there's like a lot of light that's becoming bigger and bigger. It feels much lighter down here.
Say, body, show me what it feels like to have a more elevated heart.
Body, show me what it feels like to have a more elevated heart. I just feel a lot of current coming down from my crown to my spine again.
Now, say, body, show me what it feels like to have a receptive spine to the energetic downloads.
Body, show me what it feels like to have an energetic spine,
And a receptive spine
a receptive spine
to the energetic downloads.
with the energetic downloads. My left ear is ringing.
Uh-huh, very good. Now, say, body, show me what it feels like
Body, show me what it feels like
to increase the ringing
to increase the ringing
and open up the gates
and open up the gates
to hear my ancestors.
to hear my ancestors. It's not ringing anymore, but I feel a stronger current, like a much stronger current on the back of my head.
Good. It means we need to open your spine to be more receptive. Say, body, show me what it feels like
Body, show me what it feels like
for my spine to be even more receptive,
for my spine to be even more receptive,
to receive more energetic downloads
to receive more energetic downloads
from the divine kingdom.
from the divine kingdom. It's the current that's increasing.
Good. That means it's already open. So now tell me when you hear your ancestors speaking to you.
I just hear a feeling that says, love yourself and don't be scared.
Perfect. Give me 1 second and tell me when you see the ancestor. Close your eyes.
Yes.
Say, body, show me what it feels like to open up my third eye, gate 7.
Body, show me what it feels like to open up my third eye, gate 7. I'm feeling a black spot here.
Uh-huh. Perfect. That's exactly what I needed. Okay, now say, body, show me what it feels like to expand gate 7.
Body, show me what it feels like to expand gate 7. It's getting bigger, the black spot.
Yes, good. Now say, body, show me what it feels like to look through this gate at my ancestors.
Body, show me what it feels like to look through this gate at my ancestors. see white light.
Very good. Now, say, body, show me what it feels like to define the white light into images of my ancestors.
Body, show me what it feels like to define the white light into images of my ancestors. I see my grandmom.
Now,
It's beautiful.
yes, body, show me what it feels like
Body, show me what it feels like
to merge with her frequency.
to merge with her frequency. I feel the current all over my body now, not just the spine,
Yeah,
but the current's coming all over my heart.
very good. Very good indeed. Now, tell me when you hear your grandmother speak to you.
She's saying, this is not what I brought you up as. Like, this is not what I brought my daughter as. Like, she brought me up as somebody who's very independent, very strong, and I was always more of a leader. But I think because of circumstances, I've become more of
In the
a
past,
yes. Yes,
in the
that's
past.
right. Yes, that's right.
Ask her out loud right now. Say, are you happy that I'm opening up this gate?
Are you happy that I'm opening up this gate? She's saying it's going to be difficult, but you'll have to accept the few changes that I'm asking you to make.
Okay, that's fair. Okay. And say, um, Grandma, am I interpreting that you're saying it's difficult because that's what I have believed about things in this world?
Grandma, am I interpreting it to be difficult because that's what I've, can you repeat the
Believe
question?
in this world?
That's what I've believed in this world. She said it's going to be a moment of difficulty because there are some patterns that need to break.
Okay, perfect. That's what I needed to know. I needed to hear what she had to say. Perfect. And ask her, what's it like in the realm of light?
What's it like in the realm of light? She says there are no judgments. There is just pure love. There are no judgments. That's what you live in. Yeah.
That's correct. That's right. Okay, and give me 1 second. I want you to say, body,
Body,
create a merge
create a merge
with my grandmother
with my grandmother
in my spiritual,
in my spiritual,
my mental,
my mental,
my emotional,
my emotional,
my physical,
my physical.
now.
Now, I feel so powerful. I just feel so powerful, like I'm so loved and so protected. It's beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I just feel so, wrapped in her arms. And I think that, when we started the call, I had so many questions, but now it's just love. It's
Yes.
beautiful. So, I think what is the right question to ask whenever you're feeling this? Like, how should you ask your soul, or how should you ask your body? Like, what is the right thing to do?
What would you like to feel?
Whenever I'm down, or whenever I'm not, I'm feeling confused or lost, since I'm all alone by myself.
A body.
Body,
Show me how to receive the wisdom of the elders of light.
show me how to receive the wisdom of the elders of light. My God, it's beautiful. It's just being wrapped in white wings.
Yes, it is.
Beautiful. I've never felt this warm and so loved. Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be a part of your healings.
Thank you for
Thank
saying so. That is very kind.
So grateful.
Pleasure to
Okay.
serve you.
Thank you.
I look forward to seeing you again, my love.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. It's such a pleasure.
Bye, darling. We had such lovely healings today. Great conversation. And I look forward to sharing more with all of you. However, it is important to understand that I can only do 2 healings per live for the sake of conserving my energy because I see people throughout the day, and it's important for me to conserve my energy so that I can be of the greater service for all of you. I love you all so much. It is an honor and a great, great honor indeed to be of service to such beautiful souls, such lit leaders of legacy, that we are all in this to remember how amazing and beautiful, wonderful, powerful we all are. Please know that I love you. And if you want, you can also book private sessions with me, and you can come into the webinar, so you can come on stage and talk to me, or the Healing Temple that's this Saturday. For those of you who know about the Healing Temple, you know we don't play. And we are so happy. And if you also, you can go into the Lit Vibe meditation app on Apple or Google. You can also ask me questions there and join in getting activated by all of the activations that are there, the videos that are there to teach you to remember your power. I love you all so much. And God bless all of us, for we are so wonderful on this planet together. It has been a wonderful, wonderful experience, and I look forward to having more with you as time permits. Until next time, Amala Ashe. Mwah. Bye, darlings.